Hey guys, Dr. Hannah here at Made to Move. So I don't know if y'all heard, but I sprained my ankle about 6 weeks ago in the gym, and so I've been resting, icing every single day. I don't really even see patients anymore. I also have been compressing, and elevating using this piece of equipment. So that's what everybody told me to do. Again, it's been 6 weeks, and I don't really feel like I've gotten any better, but what are you doing? I'm resting, I'm rising.
Go move your ankle!
But they told me to rise. In the last video, you saw us doing something pretty ridiculous, per usual, but you saw me resting, icing, compressing, and elevating, kind of an acute injury, but we were being a little dramatic with it. So that's kind of the thing that you've heard of the most. When you injure yourself, you should use RICE. It's what you learn in PT school. It's kind of what you see online. But we actually would argue that you should not be using these things. So let's talk about rest, why you shouldn't be resting.
Yeah, so initially, if something really hurts, you can't do anything with it, not moving a little bit might be okay for like a day or two, right? The longer you don't move a joint, the weaker that area is going to get, and the longer you rest it, the harder it is going to be coming back from it. So let's say you did sprain your ankle. Maybe it hurts too much to be able to walk on it, but there are other things you can do. You can move it around in circles. You can get a band and do some like ankle inversions or eversions. You can like kind of partially weight bear on it using your other leg, stand on it, and just as quickly as you can get back to full weight bearing and normal walking without getting your pain over like a 4 to 5 out of 10, right?
So pretty much you want to try to find a way to use your ankle in a way that's tolerable and not scary to you. So if you can stand, great. If you can stand on one foot, great. If not, you can do things sitting. We just want you to continue to move your ankle and use all those muscles. Otherwise, things are going to get even weaker, and this might become a recurring issue.
Yep. So next thing we're going to talk about is the ice aspect of this. So the idea behind ice is that when you have an injury, you experience this inflammatory process. And so basically what happens is like you sprain your ankle, the ankle swells up, it feels hot, we think, oh, there's like inflammation and fire in there. This is your body's attempt to heal. So when your ankle gets warmer to the touch, when the skin gets warmer, that's metabolic activity of your cells. That's increased blood flow, and things are working overtime to try and repair the damage. Theoretically, if you put ice on there and you manage to slow that process down, you're going to slow the healing process down. Fortunately, putting ice on your skin doesn't really change the healing process that much at all. It doesn't change the swelling, so really putting ice on your skin almost isn't doing anything by itself. If you completely submerge your leg in an ice bath and you do make the entire leg colder, if you decrease your core temperature of the limb, then you can actually decrease the inflammatory process, but then you are decreasing the long-term adaptation and the long-term healing process, and so it'll probably slow it down a little bit. So ice can be fine. It's almost completely useless. Unless you're
ice mad.
I know, ice is going to be mad
makers
about
out
this.
there are
Big,
gonna be
big
mad.
ice. Big ice.
Big ice.
Yeah.
So ice doesn't really do
Yeah.
what you think you're doing, and it's really not that comfortable. So if it's not even helping you, why would you do it?
Yeah.
It might
So
even
again,
delay recovery.
we're replacing rest with movement, and we're replacing ice with movement.
So far we have
That's our new.
The next thing is compression, and I believe that we use compression and elevation. I think the thought behind that is for swelling. Again, why are we demonizing your body's initial inflammatory reactions and process? Those things are good. We want those things if it's your body's way of healing. And so instead of me using the GHD to compress and to elevate my ankle injury, like Nate said, I should probably do things to move it around so that one, those muscles and tissues don't become weaker, and two, I don't become really sensitive to moving my ankle, because if those two things happen, you're really likely to keep doing it. Anything else about compression?
Yeah, if you're completely resting, so you take that first R in RICE and you're just resting and your foot is low down here, then it's going to accumulate a lot of swelling and it's going to feel really uncomfortable. But if you're moving, your calf is going to help pump some of that swelling back out. That's part of what your calf does, is increase venous return from your limb. And so the more you move, the less swelling you should get anyway. So you shouldn't really be like sitting around with your foot super low and doing nothing. But as long as you're moving, you don't necessarily have to elevate it. And the compression, really, sometimes it can just feel good. You know, there are ankle taping methods where your ankle does feel a whole lot better. You put an ACE wrap around your ankle, it feels better. But again, if it's not really doing anything physiologically, it's not going to really hurt anything unless you completely cut off blood flow, but it's probably just sort of a waste of time that's not worth doing. So we have movement, we have movement, and we have movement, and we have movement.
The new acronym. We also made a podcast about this topic. If you'd like to hear more about why you shouldn't rice and why you should check it out.